Hi everyone, Josh Krieger, co-host of Edge of NFT live at VCon Day 1, here with Avery Akkineni, and really excited to sort of catch up with you. It's been a minute about what you've been up to. Gary talked a little bit at the press conference about sort of the evolving conversation with brands and how they're intersecting with Web3. How are you approaching these conversations and sort of collaborations with brands and Web3 these days relative to sort of maybe a year ago?
Yeah, so we launched Vayner3 about 2 years ago, and it's been such a fun roller coaster of so much hype and excitement around NFTs, and then it was metaverse, and now it's AI, and it's just been a really fun journey to work with our partners through navigating the next era of the internet, because relevance is always transitory, right? And the hot new thing changes every few months, and for us, we've been spending a lot more time kind of listening, learning, and strategizing than activating. Think if this were a year ago, everyone was still very hot on I need to launch something yesterday. Now it's a little bit of a different climate. People want to be a little bit more thoughtful, ensure that anything that's happening in their innovation group is laddering into business objectives in a very clear way. The economy has also shifted pretty dramatically in the past 12 months. So people are a little bit more in listen, learn, strategize mode than activate mode, which has been a fun journey to be on. And we've shifted our team's focus, sort of broadened our purview to encompass everything that's in this next era of the internet. So of course doing a lot in the world of blockchain, but also in the world of advanced computing via AI and in the world of immersive experiences via some cool partnerships that we have with some of these metaverses and AR. So it's all coming together and manifesting as this really nice package that's resonating with our partners and helping them make sense of putting some of these pieces together.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the convergence is here, right? And we're actually launching a new podcast, Edge of AI, because it's a really important contemporary conversation. Let's dive in there a little bit. How are you personally day-to-day using AI?
So last summer, when I first became aware of Midjourney, I was blown away because I've spent my whole career in digital marketing, and we do a lot of decks, and we do a lot of storyboards, we do a lot of mock-ups, and I was like, oh my God, anyone can type prompts in and it generates something, and then you don't need a designer who knows how to use Photoshop the same way we have. That's going to free up my team to be so much more creative. And last summer, I was like, all right, folks, everybody in Vayner3, you have 3 months to get really proficient at using this, because this is going to change how we work. And we need to understand this so deeply ourselves before we can take it to our partners. So we're just getting our hands and hang of that, starting to mark all of our decks with, generated with AI, et cetera, get all of our licenses. And then ChatGPT happened, and I was like, oh wow, this is another exponential change in the way that people are going to access information and communicate. And also, they're going to have this whole new generation of expectations of how personalized their internet experience can be. So we leaned into that as well, just teaching ourselves. The first time you type something in, everybody's horrible, right? My first prompt was purple, tan couch on a purple rug, and I didn't know what to put. And then you get better, and you're in the noon light in Indianapolis, felt couch. You add more descriptions, and it gets better and better. Photorealistic style, So we started to internally get quite good at prompt engineering. The person who is leading our task force for this actually is a creative director. And we posted a few weeks ago that he's also an artist. He has his own sort of artistic style, a guy called Nate Bear, and his name is Bear Brains for his art. And he posted that he had actually won a competition outside of work for generative AI. He has gotten so good that his AI generated art actually really reflects the style that he does for his colorful illustrations. And I've seen that same thing happen with many folks on my team who've just gotten so good at embracing it internally. So just like anything with Vayner, we really understand it ourselves, and then we go bring it to our partners. And that's the place where we're at now. I think last summer in fall was too early. We were still getting our hands on it. And at the beginning of this year, we started to introduce our partners to this and show them and demonstrate the power of this technology. And now we're in a place where we're working with a lot of them to capability build within their organizations and start mapping use cases to their business. Of course, just like with NFTs, there's a host of legal and ethical questions, and we need to be extremely sensitive to that. But we're on that journey of how to move from AI as a novelty to AI as a utility for business building.
I love that, yeah. It's funny you mentioned that sort of acumen and building that acumen. My girlfriend decided to start battle rapping with ChatGPT, and now these battle raps have gotten quite entertaining, I must say. They've improved over time. So bringing all this conversation together, are there specific sort of brands that you're working with that are sort of launching things that you can talk about or have done things sort of around this convergence that are coming up that is able to be discussed in public at this time?
Yeah, so we actually have something pretty fun coming out next week, working with our partners at Red Bull on Red Bull Doodle Art. This is actually a competition that they've been running for like a decade plus for student artists, and they always add some fun new element. This year they added the element of collaborating on an NFT. There were 61 finalists from different countries and who got to collaborate with Burnt Toast on doing a really cool piece. This is publicly available in the press, so really fun. And there's going to be a final in Amsterdam, which will be amazing. That's actually happening next week. So really excited about that as a way to onboard the next generation of artists into the world of NFT and Web3 and digital collectibles. So we're stoked about that. Little sneak peek coming tomorrow for one of our partners at Crocs. So they're doing some really fun stuff, and Crocs is such a fun, beloved brand in that space. And of course, we've got great partners like Johnny Walker and AB and Pepsi activating at VCon as well.
Yeah, those are great, iconic, sort of pioneering brands, and Red Bull has always been at that intersection of culture and technology, so it makes a lot of sense for them to sort of lead the way. And excited to learn more about these projects and see all these activations in action at VCon. Thanks for spending a little bit of time together today.
Thanks, Josh.